All right, you asked for it, the #1 school in Pennsylvania. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Gregory Martyr, your local real estate expert, your local school ambassador. So we're talking number one realtor. You're our #1 fan. But let's talk about the #1 school district in Pennsylvania. We got Radnor. Now, we've done a video on Tread East, and that's Tready for Easttown, for those of you that don't know. Now, this video isn't for that. You have your own video of Radnor, but check out our whole series of the local districts that we've done. Today, we're talking about #1, numero uno, second to none. You're either first or you're last. I wonder if I have to give some credit where that credit's due, but look, a lot of people ask about Radnor. We got people flocking to the area so they can move into the Radnor district. We have people buying houses just to be in the district, and you don't have to be next to the high school to be able to go to the entire district. Anywhere in the district will do. If you're looking for a list, hit us up. But let's get to it. Let's talk about it. So according to the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and you know that they've got it right because there's a whole department that which is state-run. It's #1 in the entire state. Now it's the second top performing school. So what does all this mean? We talked about this on some other videos, but I'll give you a quick little excerpt in case this is the first video you're watching, so you're not like, well, I haven't seen that video yet, but please hit us up. Check out some of those other videos and hit some likes and hit some subscribes and some comments, and don't forget to click the bell notification. But what makes it #1? It's mostly based on outcome of test scores. So the students are given tests which are regulated by the state, which they do get funding from the state, so the state might have something to say about it. But based on the performance of the students, that's how it becomes #1. Now, what does it make it a top performing school versus what have you? Now, we put together a bunch of websites that we talked about on a whole nother video, niche.com and greatschools.org. There are some really great websites there that we talked about our top 3. We'll put the link there of that video. But they not only look at student performance, but they're taking into consideration the student experience. Also, the parents and the teachers get to weigh in because all that's important. Now, the real estate property values are directly proportionate to the school district, including the property taxes. So Radnor High School recently had 10 merit scholars. Now, 36 of them qualified, 11 runners-up, but 10 merit scholars. Most of the students achieve exceptionally high efficiency scores, proficiency scores, that's math and reading, and also high SAT scores. 5 great schools in Radnor, got 3 elementaries, a middle school, and a high school. We got Ithan, or is it Ethan? Anyway, it's ITHAN. We got Ithan Elementary, Radnor Elementary, Wayne Elementary, Radnor Middle School, and Radnor High School. And we get people all the time trying to come to have their kids go to Radnor, or at least to be in the district. So in order to be in any school district in Pennsylvania, you need to have residency there. Now, you don't have to own a home, but you do have to be living there and you have to prove it. So if you own a home, we can send them a copy of your deed. We can show them an agreement of sale. If you just moved to the area and your deed isn't recorded yet, we can show them the closing statement. You also need to produce some other form of proof that you live in the district. So maybe it's an electric bill. Check out our cost of living series, or perhaps it's your driver's license that may have the address changed. Now that might come after another time, but we'll help you with it. We know how to navigate that very well. And if you're coming to an area and you want to move fast, it's certainly a fast-paced activity to get you in the district, but the district does run and work very, very efficiently, and they always work with you for any circumstance that it might be. So Radnor encompasses a vast area. Definitely we got Radnor, we got Bryn Mawr, Wayne, Rosemont, got St. David's, and Newtown Square. Now Wayne is also Tread East schools, Tready for Easttown. That's another video, Tread East, but make sure we know the boundaries, and the websites are super helpful. The transportation departments in these websites or in these districts, which their links are in the websites, will give you exactly where the borders are. Now it sort of looks like somebody kind of closed their eyes and drew on a map in this fashion, or maybe had a couple of adult beverages and then decided to draw the lines, but there is some rhyme and reason to it. It's not necessarily they closed their eyes and were drawing. It has to do with the ratio of students, ratio of civilians. So you've got about 4,000 students in Radnor School District, and you have one of the lowest student-to-teacher ratios of 13 to 1. Now that number may be higher, may be lower as of today, which is we are in the school time fall of 2021, but I'm sure whenever you're going to watch this video, Radnor will still be ranked number 1 or number 2, or if they could get any better, they'll do it. Again, based on test scores, Radnor has the highest, that's what makes them number 1, proficiency in math and reading. Nearly 90% of students make the proficiency level as dictated by our great state Department of Education. So on all the websites that you could find, there are really a few great ones, greatschools.org and niche.com or Niche. They are giving A's and A pluses. Now these websites are great. We'll put some links below to these to the websites and to the video that we've done on that. It does talk about test scores. It talks about student-to-teacher ratio. It talks about the financing, the funding, the correlation between the township and the school district itself. But what is most interesting on these sites, and Radnor gets an A plus on every website, and actually one of them does a ranking of a number, so they get number 1. But they talk about the diversity of the school. They talk about the financial representation of the pupil, and how much does each student get from the budget. So these are important things. It also gives the student opinion, parents' opinion, and the teacher's opinion. The teachers aren't happy. You can imagine how the school is run, how the experience is. So they talk about the students, the administration, the faculty, the schools themselves, the after-school activities. They also talk about the food. Now I think that's very interesting because I love to eat. I've often been asked, are you hungry? And I've often answered, am I awake? Although I do dream about food too. Anyway, it's not about food, it's about Radnor, but these sites and their rankings are very interesting, but very, very helpful, so you can get a better all picture. The encouragement of the students, their motivation, the accountability that they produce, what kind of a broad spectrum of studies do they allow? Do they encourage their students to go on to secondary education? Are they offering the right AP or advanced placement type courses to enable them? So as you could imagine, being number 1 in the state, Radnor ranks right up there with being one of the best places to work in Pennsylvania according to the teachers. Now, depending on the day of the week, you check it out, but it's definitely in the top 5. But the teachers are definitely in the top 3 of the best teachers in Pennsylvania. You've got over 97% of students graduate, average SAT score of 1320. These are massively important numbers. Now, if you're checking out our channel on Living in Philadelphia, you'll see that the school district is ranked pretty poorly as comparison to Radnor. But why do I mention that? Because we don't have to go too far to get to the best school district in Pennsylvania, the best in the country. I do want to mention about Philadelphia School District, and really any district that gets poor rankings, the teachers care an awful lot. Got an average teacher's salary of about $95,000, and more than 94% of teachers have a secondary degree or a degree of higher education beyond the bachelor's degree. I do want to mention about the student-to-teacher ratio, which is 13 to 1 here. So some folks have commented in some colorful ways that the classroom sizes is different than the ratio, which is true. It's the amount of students versus the amount of faculty. There's the ratio. I like the ratio number versus how big is my class size because of the support you get. Less students per ratio, or how does that work? More staff per student ratio, that's right, the better experience. But I do want to mention that the class sizes may not be exactly 13 to 1. It's probably closer to 20, maybe 24, somewhere between 18 and 24. If you're wondering or if you're asking, and if you weren't, well, I just told you. Now, Radnor Township, it was one of the most affluent districts in the entire area, and its average price point is over $600,000. The average income is right around $125,000, and most people do own their homes in the school district footprint. So Radnor is known for its broad spectrum. Like I said, that they cast that large net. They have available and they offer and they motivate and they push a vast array of classes, but also their extracurricular activities are internationally known. So with all this great things about it, with all this growth and everything wonderful happening in Radnor, they're also forward thinkers, not just for their students, but administrative wise. They just went in under a major reconstruction within about 4 or 5 years ago, might be 6 years ago. It's 2021 now, so give or take right around 2015, 2016, I think it was. But they're also looking forward with all the students that are coming in and people flocking to the district and more people having kids and more people being born and more people in the district. They're not at capacity. They're not over capacity. They understand that and are planning forward. One of the other parts that makes it an excellent district. They're not these modular places that are just adding classrooms like that. They're making expansion part of the school, part of the district. It's not just rolling up some new space. So Radnor and the surrounding areas got some great programs available. There's Radnor Next Best Chance, or I think it's called Best Chance. So someone that may not have been able to afford to go to the school, afford to live in the area, or even may not be from the area, they're awarded a scholarship. They also has a ton of community involvement, and I can't stress how critical that is for any district ranking, or any district for that matter, is how much does the local community care and how involved are they with the district. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, comment it down below. If you didn't, comment it down below because we need to know. If you have questions, let us know. You can shoot me a text, you can send me an email, you can call me anytime. Gregory Martier, your local real estate expert, your local school district expert. Have a great day, everybody.